So as we begin to transition into spring, well, at least mentally we're trying to, because we're about to hit negative 60-degree temperatures here in Chicago, but nevertheless, we're hoping we get there eventually. We thought it'd be a great idea to come out with some cards that are kind of universal, generic, with a nouveau style. And the designs here can be adapted to a number of different things, whether it be a birthday card, a thank you card, a get well card, whatever it may be. These are very practical and just very useful cards that can be, like I said, adapted to so many things. So let's take a quick look at what we have here, and I'll show you just how easily these pieces go together. All the cards in this set are pretty much the same. So here's your base. You can see I've got a score mark through the center, and when you fold this, just make sure you grab the larger piece and grab that part as you fold it. If you try to grab this, you may end up creasing this piece because it's a little more flimsy, okay? And really all we're doing, now that I've folded it, I'm gonna fold it back a little bit. This little piece here is gonna go in here, but we're gonna put the main layers on first. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna work our way back from the most detailed to the lesser detailed, and then to the least detailed, so that the inside is nice and solid, and then you can see the pattern that you have on the front with the colors. Okay, so pretty straightforward. And what we're going to want to do here is you're going to want to put the glue on this piece here. Always put it on the more intricate piece, because if you put it on here, if you put it somewhere over here, some of these pieces are going to be sticking through, and you're going to have glue that's going to end up shooting out. So let's not do that. Let's focus on getting our glue onto the actual card base first, and then just kind of work our way back. Now this piece here is pretty detailed, so we're gonna have to work quickly. And as I've mentioned in the past, you don't need to coat every single inch of this with glue, but primarily make sure that the perimeters are nice and covered, and then just hit the insides with a few little dots here and there, and the rest of it should stick together nicely. And find a focal point here. Just focus on one little area. I'm going to look at this little tip here and just make sure that that connects nicely, and then move on to the other side. And then the center should just kind of naturally fall into place. And once everything looks good and aligned, give it a press. Okay, let's take a look. There we go. Very simple. All right, now we're going to put this piece on, just like we did the first piece. And again, work with the more complex piece as far as where you put your glue, just so that you don't end up getting glue showing through the cutouts here. I actually made that mistake on one of the cards already, because I was actually, instead of working on the more complex piece, I put it on the next layer that was less complex, and I ended up having a glue disaster. So don't make that same mistake. And that's why I'm here, to make the mistake so you don't have to. All right, then grab your next piece, line it up just like we did before. Make sure that everything lines up nicely. Give it a press. And then once you are sure that you have it lined up, and if it's off a tad, it's not a huge deal. It's still gonna look great. There we go. Just like that. Give that a nice press. And there is the beautiful card. Now we have two of these, and you'll notice that, well, the card goes like this. You'll notice that we do have some indicators here to help you with the positioning of this. This little V here is going to go right into that little area there. There's a little upside down V, that's for the little tip piece here. And that's pretty much it. It's going to go just like that into that little area. So this is, I think, the only one that has this little overlay piece. All of the rest of them are made up of pieces that kind of go behind the base of the card. So grab that, get that nice and aligned, and press that down. Make sure that you've got it appropriately placed, just like that. Okay. And just grab your other one, get some glue on there. Just like that. And if for some reason you didn't get it lined up perfectly, just make sure that you get it nice and symmetrically aligned with the other side. And that to me looks pretty good. That's pretty spot on. Okay, very simple. And now let's put our little piece inside here. This is the area that you're gonna write your little message or do your stamping on. And try to be sparse with the glue here. You don't need a lot, but make sure that you get it out to the perimeter so that it doesn't come peeling off. And just a little bit in the center. Get this piece nice and centered. You should have a nice little border all the way around. Like that. That looks pretty darn good. And just flatten that out. There we go. Okay, so card is complete. It's really pretty. And you know, depending on the colors that you use, this could be used all year long. These pastel-y colors that we used here are very, well, they're almost kind of transitioning from winter to spring, but could totally work for winter or spring. By the way, we do have envelopes included with all of these cards, and each one has a special little design at the top here. Okay, so you want to go ahead and just fold everything at the score marks. And of course, as of recently, we've started to include solid score lines for our projects here. Now with this one here, you are going to leave a little bit of room down here. You don't want to butt it up all the way. Well, I suppose you could actually. You can butt it up all the way to the score line here. Okay, but what we want to do is we want to put our glue on the actual envelope. Remember, keep your glue on the more detailed part, because otherwise you might get some glue popping through, because you don't know where to put it if we put the glue on that piece. Okay. And just kind of lay that down on the surface of your table. Make sure that you have it nice and centered, and then apply and press the main panel on there. Make sure it's nice and flat, and then fold it over and press down. And you should have a nice little border right on the flap there. There we go. Okay, and to close it up and finish it off, we're simply going to take a little bit of glue, apply it to these tabs. I'm going to go very sparse on the glue here, because sometimes when I overdo it with the glue on the envelopes, it kind of shows through a little bit, the glue does. So I'm going to spread that out all the way out to the edge, and just take this side and just fold it over and just press down right along the edges here. Get that nice and flat. Okay. And I think to finish this thing off, I'm going to grab just a little rhinestone heart, pop it right up there. And one little tip that I mentioned actually in my last video is when you're applying your rhinestones, if you decide to use them, you want to make sure to glue them down. Otherwise you run the risk of it coming off. I know that they have adhesive backs, but they don't always work very well. So we're going to throw that right on there. And there is our beautiful card with our beautiful envelope, and it is ready to go. So very simple card, very quick. You need something last minute, and you know, you need it to kind of be a general card that you can use your own stamp for or write your own message in without a particular you know, holiday or whatever it may be. This card, along with the rest of the bundle, will be perfect. So if you enjoyed making this, would love to see your version. So visit us in the official Dreaming Tree group on Facebook. Just do a search for Dreaming Tree group on Facebook. And do me a favor and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel if you enjoyed hanging out with me and crafting today. So again, thank you so much for hanging out, and I look forward to crafting with you again.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.